myself, he went on, directly you hove in view yonder's Gaffer, and in luck again. By George, we ain't. He spoke in a dropped voice, and with more than one glance at Lizzie, who had pulled on her hood again. Both men then looked with a weird, unholy interest at the wake of Gaffer's boat. "Easy does it betwixt us. Shall I take him aboard, partner?" "No," said the other, in so surly a tone that the man, after a blank stare, acknowledged it with a retort. "Ain't been eating nothing that's disagreed with you, have you, partner?" "Why, yes, I have," said Gaffer. "I've been swallowing too much of that word partner. I'm no partner of yours." "Since when was you no partner of mine, Gaffer Hexam, Esquire?" "Since you was accused of robbing a man. Accused of robbing a live man," said Gaffer with great indignation. "And what if I'd been accused of robbing a dead man, Gaffer?" "You couldn't do it." "Couldn't you, Gaffer?" "No." "Is a dead man any use for money? Is it possible for a dead man to have money? What world does a dead man belong to? T'other world. What world does money belong to? This world. How can money be a corpse's? Can a corpse own it, want it, spend it, claim it, miss it? Don't try to go confounding the rights and wrongs of things in that way. But it's worthy of the sneaking spirit that robs a live man. Gaffer, if you think to get rid of me this way—" "If I don't get rid of you this way, I'll try another, and chop you over the fingers with a stretcher, or take a pick at your head with a boat-hook. Cast off! Pull, you Lizzie! Pull home, since you won't let your father pull." Lizzie shot ahead, and the other boat fell astern. Lizzie's father, composing himself into the easy attitude of one who has asserted the high moralities and taken an unassailable position, slowly lighted a pipe and smoked, and took a survey of what he had in tow. What he had in tow lunged itself at him sometimes in an awful manner when the boat was checked, and sometimes seemed to try to wrench itself away, though for the most part it followed submissively. A neophyte might have fancied that the ripples passing over it were dreadfully like faint changes of expression on a sightless face. But Gaffer was no neophyte, and had no fancies. Mr. and Mrs. Veneering were brand-new people in a brand-new house in a brand-new quarter of London. Everything about the Veneerings was spick and span new. All their furniture was new, all their friends were new, all their servants were new, their plate was new, their carriage was new, their harness was new, their horses were new, their pictures were new. They themselves were new. They were as newly married as was lawfully compatible with their having a brand-new baby, and if they'd set up a great-grandfather, he would have come home in matting from the Pantechnicon without a scratch upon him, French polish to the crown of his head. There was an innocent piece of dinner furniture that went upon easy casters and was kept over a livery stable yard in Duke Street, St. James's, when not in use, to whom the Veneerings were a source of blind confusion. The name of this article was Twemlow. Being first cousin to Lord Snigsworth, he was in frequent requisition, and at many houses might be said to represent the dining table in its normal state. This evening the Veneerings gave a banquet. 11 leaves in the Twemlow, 14 in company all told, 4 pigeon-breasted retainers in plain clothes stand in line in the hall, a 5th retainer proceeding up the staircase with a mournful air, as who should say, "Here is another wretched creature come to dinner, such is life," announces, "A dinner is on the table." Thus the melancholy retainer, as who should say, "Come down and be poisoned, ye unhappy children of men." Revived by soup, Twemlow discourses mildly of the court circular with Boots and Brewer. Boots and Brewer regard this as a man to be cultivated, and Veneering is clear that he is a remunerative article. Meantime the retainer goes round like a gloomy analytical chemist, always seeming to say after, "Shabbily, sir, you wouldn't if you knew what it's made of." The great looking-glass over the sideboard reflects the table and the company, reflects Veneering, 40, wavy-haired, dark, tending to corpulence, sly, mysterious, filmy. Reflects Mrs. Veneering.